Okay, welcome to Energy and Mining Technology Investment Interview Series, presented by Early Birds and Energy Conference Network for the Energy and Mining Technology Investment Summit on August 18 and 19 in Sydney. This summit will also be run as a virtual summit. My name is Kris Poria. I'm a co-founder of Early Birds. Today, I have Richard Adams with me as part of this interview series. Richard is the Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center at National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, as well as the Director for the Center for Renewable Energy and Economic Development. As Director, he oversees the teams accountable for Industry Growth Forum at the NREL Investor Advisory Board and Investor Network Relationships, both regional and national incubator programs and programs that support entrepreneurs, including NREL commercialization assistance programs. Additionally, Richard is responsible for IM2 and GXN technology incubation program sponsored by Wells Fargo and Shell. Richard draws on his 25 plus years of international experience with small, medium, and large corporations across a broad range of industry sectors. His background includes roles as investment banking, management consulting, and as a startup entrepreneur. So welcome, Richard. Richard, can you tell us a little bit more about the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center at NREL?
Yeah, no, thanks, Kris, for having me. And I'm really looking forward to the event in August. So appreciate the opportunity to have this initial interview with you. So as you mentioned, I'm the Director of the Innovation Entrepreneurship Center at NREL, based in Golden, Colorado. And you can see in the background there, the lab. Great place to work, very exciting, about 2,300 employees, roughly $500 million a year budget provided by the US Department of Energy, and roughly $100 million from our other industry partners, basically non-DOE funding. So NREL's been around for 40 years now. We're an applied lab, an R&D facility, so somewhat akin to the CSIRO in Australia, for people that don't know NREL. In that we do research into the new energy systems of the future. So, we've historically done work on solar, wind, biofuels, hydrogen, geothermal, all of the generation assets. And as we've evolved as an R&D institution, we've gotten into research and development in buildings and energy efficiency, efficient transportation, and energy integration. And so it's a fairly unique capability globally. We're well recognized as one of the leaders in this marketplace. And my organization within the NREL framework is really focused on what we call the three-legged stool. So using the assets of the lab to support startups and early stage growth companies, to support investors and to support industry to the extent that they're looking at the startup ecosystem as an innovation engine for them.
Great, Richard. Thank you very much for that. And what kind of lessons do you think that Australia could learn or draw from this model?
Well, we partner strongly with CSIRO. So, I don't know that there's necessarily things that we want to be trying to teach other parts of the world. We do think we've developed some models within the IEC that are of interest to other organizations. In fact, specifically CSIRO and a company called RFC Ambrian that we partnered with to introduce the tech incubation programs into Australia. So in the introduction that you made for me, you alluded to the IM2 program sponsored by Wells Fargo, and you alluded to the Shell Game Changer program sponsored by Shell. Well, both of those programs are born out of a need for additional funding for early stage technologies, even prior to becoming a company. And as a national lab, we were seeing an awful lot of really, really good technologies that weren't attracting the attention of the investment community. And so We developed initially the IN2 program. It's now a $50 million technology incubation program, and the Shell program, which is, you know, similar order of magnitude. Those two programs together form our technology incubation platform at NREL. And now that we've successfully got those programs up and running, we're now looking for international partners, because we feel like the problem that we're solving is getting technologies to market at speed and at scale, two things that we believe are critical to solving climate change and to getting us to the energy system of the future that we want. And so we're delighted to already be partnered with, as I say, CSIRO and RFC Ambrian, and we're looking at opportunities in South Africa, Singapore, India, other emerging markets and other developed markets around the world. And it's a very, very exciting time.
Yeah, great, great. And what areas of technology investment are you seeing most interest?
Well, for us, you know, with our two programs, it kind of runs the gamut. We've got agriculture, which of course, you know, NREL's not engaged in research around agriculture, but we have a partnership with the Danforth Plant Science Institute in St. Louis, Missouri, that help us with the technical innovations there. Commercial and industrial buildings and energy efficiency remain, you know, I think one of the critical areas that continue to attract a lot of investment, as does residential buildings. And so that forms the core of what we're doing within the IN2 program. When it comes to the Game Changer program, our mandate's a lot broader. So we looked at things like rapid charging, long duration storage, you know, hydrogen, you know, chemical, you know, electrons to molecules, you know, just a broad range of things that, you know, as a company like Shell, it's a traditional oil company, thinks about what does their future look like, gives them an opportunity and some insights into those sorts of areas. But in addition to that, you know, through our network of investors, we're seeing a lot of interest in hydrogen. People are starting to really get excited about hydrogen and trying to come to grips with the economics associated with hydrogen and how to make money at that. We are looking at, you know, a term that I threw out earlier, electrons to molecules. How do you take excess electrons and utilize that for the production of molecules and replace carbon-based molecules with renewable energy molecules? So hydrogen's a great example of that. But there's a whole range of things you can get into there, including recyclable plastics, organic carbon fiber. You know, again, the gamut's very broad from a research and development perspective. And, you know, what follows that is the interest in from the investment community of what's coming down the pike and what does that look like for them, both from a commercial point of view and an investment point of view.
Okay, great. And definitely, I'm really excited to learn and listen to you in August in the event. So what would we be expecting to hear from you?
I won't say TBD. My plan was to give people a bit of an overview of the lab, similar to what I did earlier, but in a little more detail. Perhaps touch on the areas of research in slightly more detail. You know, one of the things I clearly like to emphasize is, you know, the strong partnership we have with Australia and also with the CSIRO, ARENA, some of the other federal agency players, some of the state players. So, you know, as an Australian, my roots run deep in Australia, and, you know, I'd like to emphasize that, you know, we are a place that's open to business and working with Australia. But, you know, I think I also plan to cover off on the IN2 and the Game Changer program. Hopefully by then we'll be able to make a couple of exciting announcements. We're currently contracting with another entity on a new technology incubation program that goes a little broader than either of those programs. And we're working on a very, very exciting cybersecurity program. So I plan to spend the majority of time talking about those and getting people eager about sending their startups or applying for those programs.
Great, great, Richard. And I'm sure that we all are looking forward to that. Thank you very much for your time today, and hope to see you in August in Sydney conference. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, Kris.
See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.